What's up, y'all? This is your boy Ktatertot. Do a reaction to some It's Complicated. Great channel to watch if you're into like dating and relationship type stuff. Great channel to watch. Let's get to it. Go.
Easier for a man or a woman to acquire sex?
Which I think the answer is.
It is much easier for a woman to acquire sex.
Okay, she's
Why
smart.
is that?
She's smart.
Because we choose. We choose whether or not we have the option of whether or not we're going to let a man have sex or not.
Yep.
I don't think that that's necessarily true.
Oh my God. Fucking. We all know women. It's easier for women to get sex. Why she say it's not necessarily true? But let's see what else she gonna say.
Don't women typically consent to sex?
Consent goes both ways.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. What's the longest that a man's ever made you wait for sex?
You know, it's happened. I don't know.
But does
Got him.
that typically happen?
Maybe. No, it doesn't typically happen.
Okay, so isn't it fair to say that women generally control access to sex more than men
If
do?
a woman wants sex, she can get it. If a man wants sex, doesn't mean he can necessarily get it.
Okay, so is it safe to say that women typically control access to sex more than men do?
Got him. Look at that face. Got him.
Because it's easier for a woman to get sex than it is for a man?
I don't like.
Look, she don't even want to admit the truth. This is what we have to deal with, y'all. She don't even want to have to admit the truth. Shame.
The phrasing that you're boxing me into, but
But I mean, do you have a different way of explaining it? I mean, is that not generally true?
I think that
I mean, if it's
Just so y'all know, hope y'all caught that. She started playing the victim role. I don't know about the phrase you're trying to back me into. Victim. That's what they do, bro. Damn.
It's easier for a woman to get sex and it's harder for a man to get sex, we can't conclude that women typically control access?
okay. It's easier for a girl for sure. Yeah, guys are thirsty.
Since it's harder for men, should
Dudes
women be
ain't thirsty.
surprised that guys have lower standards for sex than women?
Not really, because I mean, they just want to get it in, right?
Yeah, real quick. I don't know.
Don't women have the privilege of being more picky because they have more options?
And look, they can't even think for themselves. See how they look at each other before answering? Or somebody will answer, right? Because I've seen other videos. I haven't seen this one yet. But somebody will answer a question and then look at their friend for approval. Yeah, that's what I think. And she seems to be thinking the same thing. So yeah, let's go with that. You know, that's what they do. They can't think independently. They got to make sure everybody around them is thinking the same thing, or they seek approval. They have the actual feelings, but they also need to seek approval. So if you see a woman say something negative about somebody else, normally it's clouded with, oh my God, like, your hair is nice, but I wouldn't really do that, but you look really good with it. It's just, I would do it. That's how they do, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't women have the privilege of being more picky because they have more options?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of an
Adjust the
incel?
camera.
No.
An incel?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Gotcha.
Have you ever heard of an incel?
No.
Why they lying? They definitely heard of incel. They definitely have called a man an incel. I don't know why they lying. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, incel stands for involuntarily celibate, and it refers to a person who can't get any sex. Who is more likely to be involuntarily celibate, men or women?
Men.
Okay.
Men.
She's smart.
I think it's 1 in 3 men are not having sex right now.
Okay.
In today's society, if a man goes up to a woman and asks her for her number or Snapchat, he's looked at as like a creep and a pervert. But if a woman goes up to a man, it's 100% okay, which is not okay to me.
Why are men shamed for not being able to get sex, but also shamed for trying to get sex?
Boom.
That's a good question.
Got him.
I think it's the way they go about trying to get sex, because women want relationships. Well, I can't say all women, but a good amount of women want relationships, and when you meet the men that just want sex, it kind of tarnishes everything.
Is it fair to shame men for being incels when women are the ones who control access to sex?
I don't think you should shame anybody for anything.
Is it
See,
fair to shame men?
That's the problem right there. People should definitely be shamed for shameful behavior. Like, you know, when you do dumb shit, you should be shamed so you can get better. That's why you got people having fucking 3 kids by 3 different fathers, you know, because nobody shamed them on the first one. Oh, it's okay, we make mistakes. Sure, people make mistakes. That don't mean you don't shame them. Still shame them. I am a firm believer in shaming.
For being incels when women are the ones who control access to sex.
No, not at all.
Isn't that victim shaming?
Yes, 100%.
Isn't every man who's been rejected temporarily an incel?
Yes.
Is it fair to portray incels as lazy, immature losers because they don't conform to women's standards and selectivity?
No.
Yes!
No.
Yes!
No.
Fucking incel!
If a man can't get sex, he might be made fun of and called names just for that. And then, well, also I think if a man does get a lot of sex, it might be like everyone praises him also for getting a lot of sex. So I don't really think that there's a whole lot of men out there that are getting shamed for having a lot of sex.
Is it fair to portray incels as lazy, immature losers because they don't...
Real quick, how many women do y'all think will rate themselves as 10s in this video? Definitely this chick on the right here, this one right here, she'll definitely rate herself as a 10. You can tell, but she's not a 10. Look at her.
Conform to women's standards and selectivity.
Negative. No. Everybody is built different and has their own standards in life.
If a man does conform, does that make him a simp?
Negative. No.
Why is it more acceptable to shame men for having low standards versus shaming women for having unrealistic high standards?
These questions too real. Look at them. These questions too real, y'all.
I'm speechless on that one.
Oh, yeah. You
This is why I like this channel.
on that one.
It's a good channel.
I don't know what to say.
Survival of the fittest. Whoever seems like they're about to get it in, gets it in, and they continue their genes and whatnot. But besides that, like, I don't know.
So would you say, based on that, that women ultimately control the evolution
How much you want to bet she's gonna look at her friend before answering, or in the middle of her answer? Let's see.
of society
Yes.
based on the men that they choose?
Yes, it's because it's like the mating rituals. Like they say yes or no in most breeds. you know,
So
like
then
the
how are we
species.
living in a patriarchy where men have all the power?
Just because that's how society was set up when women were supposed to stay home and take care of the kids and the guys went out and did all that shit and we're supposed to rely on them.
Okay, I was wrong. She answered the questions right. Okay, didn't look for approval. Okay, I fuss with it.
What is the longest you've gone without having sex?
She's about to count.
A year?
I'm gonna call Cap, but she's been answering pretty good, so you know, maybe. But I'm gonna call Cap on it.
What is the longest by choice you've gone without having sex?
A year?
Probably like 18 years.
What is the longest by choice you've gone without having sex?
Probably like a month.
Who's more likely to lie about how long they've gone without sex, men or women?
Women.
Don't men lie about getting more and women lie about getting less?
No.
Yeah, you wrong, bro. You gotta think about that one. I think he tripped them up.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Don't men lie about getting more and women lie about getting less?
Yes,
Why?
because we're seen as being tarnished for the more sex that we have.
Why are women who sleep around seen as sluts while men who sleep around are seen as studs?
Because men don't want to see that their woman that they have prospect to be interested in has been with every man.
Could it be because it's easier for a woman to be a slut?
No,
That's
Well,
the reason.
don't women control access to sex?
they do, but there are many male sluts. They're just being praised for being that way.
But isn't it harder for a man to be a male slut than it is for a woman to be a female slut?
Depends on the man.
Wouldn't you say that the high-value men with lots of options are rare?
Yeah.
So then,
But what is that tattoo on a Silk and Sonic? I don't know what that is. Let me look that up real quick. Sheesh. Silk and Sonic. Y'all look that up. Oh, fucking up. There we go.
Wouldn't you say that it's more likely for your average woman to be a female slut than your average man?
Yes.
Women sleep with who they want, men sleep with who they can.
True.
Facts.
What's the difference between shaming a woman for being a slut and shaming a man for being an incel? In other words, why are women shamed for having too much sex while men are shamed for not getting any sex?
Well, women can't have sex without being attached in some way. It's just in our innate.
What do you mean they
Still don't
can't
answer
have
the
sex?
question, though.
Not that they can't have sex. They can't have sex without having some type of emotional attachment.
Why do you think men are more likely to be able to have sex without feelings than women?
Because you guys are made to procreate.
The name is involuntarily celibate, so the man is not choosing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice for that one.
Oh,
but
yeah.
us females, we definitely have a choice to be a slut or not.
Well, because women control access to sex.
I control whether you take my clothes off or not.
We do.
Don't women have a choice to be a slut, but a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel?
Yeah.
So then why would it be worse to call a woman a slut than it is to call a man an incel?
I don't know why it would be worse.
But our society labels it as worse.
They label being an incel worse than being a slut?
Well, in other words, a lot of women resent being called a slut when they have
Correct.
a choice to be a slut, but it's okay for men to be called incels when men don't have a choice to be an incel because men don't control access to sex.
I think men don't have the choice on what they're doing, but nowadays with social media going the way it is, women have actually embraced slut.
And who's that hard?
And that's the problem.
Do you think women today are more interested in relationships or hookups?
You know, I would say
on the
more
stage
hookups
of
today.
life.
Why?
But early 20s
Because
hookup.
they have all these rappers, saying, influencing them, like trying to. Basically, they're trying to play the role as men. They're trying to play us out of our money, and it's bullshit.
Me personally, I'm more interested in relationships. Women nowadays, I think, are
'Cause she's
more
older.
worried about their careers and hookups.
So if women are more interested in hookups, how can a man let a woman know he just wants to hook up without making her feel like a slut?
There isn't a way, no matter what.
Just be direct, fellas. Be direct. You could play the game. I like to be direct, but you could play the game. Make her feel special, whatever, and then smash them as time as you want. Call it a day.
So aren't we kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't?
Yes, you are.
Would you rather have the best sex you've ever had or the best food you've ever eaten?
I'm gonna say she's gonna say sex.
Best food you ever eaten.
Yeah, food for sure.
Bullshit.
Best food I've ever eaten.
They all capping.
I'm a foodie. I like food.
Would you rather eat all the junk food
Capping.
you want without gaining weight or have unlimited sex without being slut shamed?
Unlimited sex without being slut shamed.
Who are the bigger slut shamers, men or women?
Women.
Women?
Why are there men who shame women for being sluts when men also complain about how hard it is to get laid? Are those the same men?
Nope.
No. I think the men that are calling women sluts are looking for a woman that aren't sluts.
If a woman's body count doesn't matter, why is it typically the first thing women bring up to shame another woman they are jealous of?
Because they know it matters. That body count matters. And I hate when women say, "Oh yeah, it don't matter." Well, say your body count. Give us your body count then. If it's not that bad, tell people what your body count is. Don't lie.
In other words, why would a woman ever slut shame another woman?
Because they know deep down body count does matter.
Boom, bam.
Is the main reason women don't want to be easy is because they don't want to be shamed? Or could it be that they don't want to relinquish their sexual power over men?
I don't think either one of those. I think the reason why women don't want to be easy
It's
is
both.
because we don't want to have a body count, because we want to find somebody that wants us for who we are. And the guys
Bullshit. That's only when you're older.
that we're looking for don't want a woman with high body count.
Why is it okay for women to feel entitled to be protected and provided for, but it's wrong for men to feel entitled to sex and intimacy?
Got him. Got him. Let's see how she answers.
I think after being provided for so long, and once you're comfortable in the relationship, that men are going to expect for you to be intimate with them at a certain point.
Are women doing men a favor by giving them sex?
Yeah.
Nope. Never let them treat it that way, y'all. Never let them treat it like that.
Yeah, I guess.
For a moment.
If a woman rewards a man with sex, why is there still pressure on him to perform and satisfy her?
Damn, that's a good one right there. Okay. Let's see what she got to say to that. That was a good one. That does make sense, though. If it's a reward, then why the fuck do you gotta be so good at it? If it's in a reward. That was a good one. I like that one. Let's see.
I feel like men can be selfish.
But girls will not come back if they're not, like, doing well. Yeah.
Well, why should a man have to earn the opportunity to please you sexually?
Because women get to decide everything in other species, so why not human species?
No, they don't. What the fuck she get that from? They don't decide shit.
Okay, but then if that's true, then why do we complain about being in a male-dominated patriarchy where men control women?
Because
I ain't gonna lie, this dude be asking like some great questions.
it's the hunter and gatherer type of discussion. Because we had to stay at home and wait for the men to come and hunt and bring that shit back to us for us to, like, cook and shit. So that's where it started.
Are there female incels?
I think so, maybe.
Would it be fair for society to shame a lonely old cat lady for being involuntarily celibate?
No.
How likely are men to have sex with a lonely woman out of pity?
I guess it depends on who you ask. I'd say pretty likely.
How likely are women to have sex with lonely men out of pity?
Oh, unlikely. They just want men that are rich and famous.
How likely are women to have sex with lonely men out of pity?
Really wonder what her answer is.
Not so likely.
Why is that?
Because a woman wants a man that looks strong and feels strong, and she feels like she's going to be protected, and that's what they look for. So if you look like you're the weak one cowering in the corner, she's probably not going to go up to you.
Yep.
Men think that there are these issues. Like, if you were more confident, or if you just...
Bro, I swear to God, I would not go towards this woman right here on the left. Nope. Wouldn't do shit with her. Like, she like drugs too much. Nope.
like put yourself out there more, you just like, whatever, just do it. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter what the woman's standards are. That's what they're attracted to.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So if you woke up tomorrow and you were a guy and you wanted to get laid like most guys do, how would you do it?
I'd go to a bar, find my pretty girl sitting at the bar, sit down, and I'd ask them if I could buy them a drink. Literally. That's all you have to do. Make yourself there. Present yourself. Be confident.
I understand that, but if that was true, why would there be so many guys who complain about being stuck in the friend zone?
Because they're too busy trying to be the nice guy. They're not actually presenting themselves that they want this. They're looking like the friend, so we see them as a friend.
Do you prefer a man who is a gentleman or a bad boy?
I like a gentleman.
Is it fair to say women lust after
older
bad boys that want to settle down with nice guys?
Yes.
How do bad boys treat women?
Like shit.
What's the difference between a man who spoils his woman and a man who's whipped?
What's the difference between a man that spoils his woman and a man that's whipped?
His level of consent and his part in happiness in doing whatever he's doing for his...
I bet she's one of those frou-frou, love everybody, fucking far left, extreme liberals who fucking everything's consent. Like even fucking asking a baby, asking a baby, did you want to be born? Did you want to be born, baby? Why did you give birth to this baby without his consent? She's one of those type of fucking people.
Women. If he's
Look, they always have that look in their eyes. Like you can tell.
not happy doing it, if he's resenting her,
It depends on the authority that he puts down. Like, there can be a man that spoils his woman in a certain way. He takes her to dinner, he takes her out, he takes her on vacation. And then there's the men that literally bow down hand and foot for their women, that their women are running all over them.
Yep.
If a woman expects to be spoiled, doesn't that mean she expects her man to be whipped?
No.
Do men shame each other for being whipped the same way women slut shame each other for being easy?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I do know that men will shame their friends for being whipped, and I think that's a problem with the patriarchy.
Bro, it's either she might be on something too. I think she might be on something also, or it's just the light in her face. I don't know. I think she on something, but she's definitely one of those social justice warriors.
Does every incel hate women?
No.
Does every feminist hate men?
Probably, yes. Yes.
Does every incel hate women?
I don't believe every incel hates women. I think that they might be shyer than most men. I think more alpha males end up getting more sex than more beta males do.
Does every feminist hate men?
Yes. I'm not a
Yes, you say
feminist.
yes.
I'm more of a traditional woman, so I really can't speak on the feminist woman because I don't agree with most of them.
What is the patriarchy?
Patriarchy is.
She definitely on some shit, y'all.
Make me describe this.
How do you define it?
Well, the old white men who have deemed what is acceptable for men and women, the roles of men and women, social norms, the leads. It's all back to old white men deciding for everybody.
Told y'all, social justice warrior. Look at her. Alright, y'all. That's the first reaction video. Let me know if y'all fuck with it. Alright, peace.